Is it a bit too ambitious to use a pony weighing under 4 tons to rescue a bogged-down Kamaz giant? Despite its powerful engine, the Gazushka-tracked vehicle was completely helpless, as its tracks kept spinning in vain on the slippery mud due to a lack of traction. A commendable team effort that ultimately ended in frustration, leaving a costly lesson about weight class mismatches in muddy terrains. Sweden. An Estonian timber truck suddenly suffered a mishap, sending colossal logs flying onto the road like deadly projectiles. Fortunately, tragedy was avoided, but this haunting freefall would definitely make any driver trailing behind break into a cold sweat. The quicksand instantly became an invisible trap, swallowing the heavily loaded sand truck and turning the rescue into a high-stakes battle. A Kawasaki 97ZV rushed to help, but was initially left helpless due to a lack of traction, its engine roaring in vain. However, the moment the operator cleverly shifted tactics, this mechanical beast immediately turned the tables, conquering the treacherous sand with a brilliant, decisive push. With over 50,000 tons of cargo crammed into its rear, even the king of the open road, the Volvo FH 440, seemed to be shaking its head in frustration at this impossible task. Post-harvest tree stumps are usually a farmer's stubborn nightmare, but this mechanical giant begs to differ. The flawless combo of an excavator and a powerful grab turns the confrontation into a sweet display of brute force, ripping apart stubborn wood as easily as pulling weeds. Watching these solid stumps get uprooted in seconds truly shows how human ingenuity can turn backbreaking labor into a satisfying spectacle. Who on earth takes a land-loving Russian iron buffalo like the K700 to test its luck in a deep river? Watching the giant engine roar as its massive tires desperately claw at the rushing current was both tense and hilarious. Although it finally made it to the other side, this was clearly a wild, heart-pounding stunt because swimming was never this giant's specialty. You might think it's a ship cutting through ocean waves, but look closer, you'll have to rub your eyes in disbelief. This is actually an Ontario Southland Railway snowplow charging fiercely through thick snowdrifts. Its incredible power splits the heavy snow, sending white powder spraying everywhere, just like wild ocean waves. A breathtakingly epic sight that will surely leave anyone from tropical regions absolutely mesmerized. Would you dare to test your limits in the Bieszczady Mountains, where the mud is deep enough to swallow your steps whole? This harsh landscape is the ultimate stage for courageous log skidders. Watching the heavy machinery trudge forward, its wheels sinking deep and clawing through the wet earth, makes you truly admire the extraordinary endurance of these workers. A heavy-duty challenge reserved only for those with iron wills. Veering off the road at a sharp turn, the loaded Kenworth log truck was instantly dragged down the hillside by the immense weight of its timber trailer, leaving it dangerously tilted. This stressful mishap completely paralyzed Highway 270 inches Arkansas for nearly 40 minutes. Looking at the giant rig wedged tight in the deep ditch, the rescue crew could only break a sweat trying to solve this heavy-duty puzzle before darkness fell.
So we're going to get to work here.
Due to a single moment of operator carelessness, the powerful log skidder ended up pinned down and overturned by a colossal log. This chaotic, ruined scene is a costly reminder of what happens when professionalism is ignored in the deep forest. It's a completely ruined, exhausting day with all schedules blown to pieces, leaving behind a massive repair bill for a totally avoidable mistake.
Must have pulled the kill switch or the machine died, and we didn't have...
A sturdy pickup truck takes months to build, but less than a minute to turn into a pile of scrap metal, redefining the meaning of power. In an instant, the crushing weight of the excavator bucket flattens the cabin like a giant crushing a tiny toy. Watching this scene makes one truly realize the helplessness of machinery against sheer, brutal destruction. A truck suddenly lost control, veered off the edge of a cliff, and plunged into a deep ravine while reversing. What went wrong? Perhaps the brakes malfunctioned. Who would have thought a muscular beast like the D7G bulldozer would end up flipped on its back, looking as helpless as a poor turtle? This bittersweet incident happened right while it was being transported on a trailer. Just a bit of slippery mud from the previous day's rain was enough to send the giant steel beast tumbling. A costly slip-up and a harsh lesson for rainy days. Who says unloading oversized cargo has to follow the textbook? Just look at how this giant tank is lifted onto the truck. In an instant, it looks a bit sketchy and nerve-wracking, but the efficiency is undeniable. A highly creative handling feat by the drivers, which not only cuts down on time, but also delivers a visually stunning display of on-site skill. Veteran built in 1952 could revive after sleeping for over 2 years in the dust? The Caterpillar D82U was a bit stubborn and groggy at first, but once a fellow dozer stepped in to jumpstart it, the legendary engine instantly roared back to life. Hearing that crisp rumble, it feels like this beast is reliving its golden age, fully ready to conquer the tough construction sites ahead. How could a giant like the D85E dozer get neatly trapped under a pile of dry branches like a helpless little bird? All self-rescue attempts were completely in vain until its fellow D-68 dozer showed up, teaming up for a grueling multi-hour pull. A bittersweet entrapment that serves as a stern warning for anyone letting their guard down in this tricky terrain.
Bulldozer tolak tarik logging yang bermuatan.
Would you dare to stand on those slippery, vertical slopes deep in the forest and look down? That is the daily workplace for loggers, one of the world's most dangerous jobs. Watching their steady steps amidst the vast wilderness truly reveals their resilience and bravery. Massive respect to these iron-hearted workers who turn such back-breaking challenges into their everyday routine.
Oke, akhirnya naik juga ya. Tapi walaupun sudah di atas. Terima kasih sudah menonton video ini. Jumpa.
Rescue to the rescue. Amidst the bustling atmosphere of the North Yorkshire Moors steam gala, the BR-80136 locomotive suddenly broke down due to a failed water pump, running bone dry right in front of the crowd. Fortunately, the Savior scrap Crusader BR9F92134 arrived just in time to rescue its teammate. Watching these two steel giants support each other against the majestic valley backdrop was a sheer relief, giving spectators a genuinely moving and rare railway moment to remember. It feels like watching a monster movie, but this is a real-life survival arena for machinery. Armed with a colossal shear, the CI-7000 demolition machine easily devours a once mighty, sturdy bulldozer. Each cut slices through solid steel as smoothly as cutting a melon, turning heavy metal into helpless scrap in seconds. This destructive power serves as a grim reminder. Nothing lasts forever against mechanical giants.
Look at that poor thing, man.
Once prestigious Audi and Mercedes luxury cars instantly turn into helpless toys before a scrap excavator. The giant mechanical beast drops its grab, crushing the sturdy steel frames as effortlessly as chewing candy. The crunch of twisting metal is both painful and satisfying to hear, a visually stunning display of mechanical destruction that showcases the ultimate power of modern recycling technology. How do you relocate a massive 50-ton camp without tearing it down? The answer lies in the boundless creativity of the site workers, who managed to load the entire structure onto a trailer with astonishing neatness. Watching this slick, centimeter-perfect operation truly makes you admire the top-tier skills of these laborers. A lightning-fast solution that turned a seemingly impossible task into a visually stunning display of on-site engineering. Forget air-conditioned offices. Let's venture deep into the jungle to see logging elites in action. On slippery slopes that make your knees buckle, an old Komatsu excavator and courageous workers quietly conquer colossal logs. Their extraordinary endurance turns this brave few percent of individuals into true warriors amidst the harsh, wild nature. How do you bring down ancient trees in the heart of the city without causing a single alarm? The answer lies in the Slick Maestro Lumberjack, a machine equipped with a flexible 360 degrees crane and a highly safe, concealed cutting blade. From felling and sorting to processing timber, everything is handled cleanly, turning a back-breaking job into a display of engineering precision. Who would have thought a collision at a snail's pace could be so heart-stopping? This rare incident occurred when a coil car suddenly detached, forcing the locomotive to back up in emergency lockdown mode. Even though the two steel giants only tapped gently at the coupler, the clank of metal amidst the tense silence was enough to make everyone hold their breath. Just when it seemed like a peaceful afternoon, the traction motor of the fourth unit suddenly gave out. With plans ruined, the crew had to skillfully back the broken locomotive into Fresno Yard. Amidst the silence, each roaring engine rev felt incredibly tense yet gripping. Are you curious if they managed to get this stubborn giant safely back to the yard before sunset?